To hell with the date on your birth certificate. Let's talk about what we have in common across generations. Life, sex, and tech at any age. Welcome to Age Blind with Nancy A. Shenker.
Hey, boys and girls. Welcome to Age Blind, formerly known as the Geezer Proofer. And the reason why I changed the name, which I feel compelled to explain every time, is that I came to realize that I want to talk to people of all ages and all stages. And one of the problems with ageism is that people tend to hang out in their generational cluster. So I am truly age blind, as my logo will show. I thought about wearing a blindfold on my podcast, but thought better of it. I'm kinky, but not that kinky. Plus, I couldn't see the faces of my lovely guests. So this is the second Feast of Friends, as I'm calling it, a social experiment, which so far seems to be going very well. And once a month, I'm going to put together a group of anywhere from 3 to 5 guests to talk about a topic. And because it's December, the holiday season, we don't have a talking turkey, which we did on Thanksgiving. We have a holiday gnome who's pixelating, but let's bring a little festivity. Plus, I'm wearing my holiday earrings, which are being covered by my headphones. But the topic is going to be gifting. And gifting means many things to many people, different things. Gifting are the physical things that you find under your tree or under your menorah, but it could also be the gift of time. It could be a gift of an experience. I was just reading that 45% of people are giving experiences this holiday season, and that number actually climbs to the 60s when you look at younger segments of the market, because I think we all just have so much stuff that we're looking for ways to enjoy life without as much stuff, especially over 50. I have discovered that. So without further ado, we're going to go around the table, the virtual table. And we're going to also start, because it is, for those of you who are Seinfeld fans, there's a fictional holiday called Festivus where you get to air a grievance. So we're going to keep this very upbeat and positive. We're going to talk about gifting. But as an icebreaker, we're going to talk about one grievance for the year. My grievance tends to be people who do selfie videos and sit up like this and wear big glasses so that they're right in your face. And they very often say, I'm back. Like, I know I've been gone for a while, as if you were actually waiting to see their big face in the screen.
The one that gets me isn't that. The one that gets me is the one where they won't stop laughing. They're like telling a story and they just keep laughing in the middle of it. And I'm like, you prove that it's funny first.
You know why they do that? I'll tell you, as a social media expert, they do it for engagement, because they want you to watch the end of the video. So if you're laughing this hard, you just got to see what's going to happen at the end of that. And someone's going to watch the video all the way through, and their engagement goes up for their social media platforms. I recently found that out. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Kyle, since you did speak up and started talking about your grievances, not only should you talk about your grievance, but also because this is like a random group of people that I've assembled, just very quickly how you and I met, and then your grievance, which could in fact be having met me, but hopefully not.
I have a lot of grievances, but
limited to one.
I'm going to stick to our topic. So, first, I'm Kyle. I'm Nancy's podcast producer. I met her producing someplace else. There's a longer story. Listen to the other feast to get the whole story. But my grievance is going to be engagement. I hate it. I don't understand it. It is my enemy.
Social media engagement or marital engagement?
Marital engagement is great. Social media engagement.
I agree with Kyle. That is a pet peeve. You don't know what's going to hit, and you feel like you're posting out into the ethers.
It's a beast. That's why I like podcasting. I like the long form, intimate relationship building, but that kind of engagement it does not click with me. So obviously that means it's bad.
So, Kelly, I'm sure you have a different point of view on it. So, again, who you are, what you do in your day job, and how you and I met, and your Festivus grievance.
I'm Kelly Brink. I'm a true crime podcaster and author. I've worked with people on their social media and stuff like that for quite a while. I've been in podcasting for about 7 years, social media for several as well. But that's how Nancy and I met. Again,
Not through the crime. I did not commit a crime. We
Yeah.
met through podcasting.
That we know of.
But like Kyle said, that's another story for another time, how we all met. Pretty interesting. But oh, my grievance? Gosh. Well, it does have to do with social media as well, because that's my world. Almost 24 hours a day, I'm on social media, working on social media. The fighting and the keyboard warriors who hide behind those keyboards and spew toxic, vile comments at each other because they're hiding behind a computer or a cell phone. That is like the demise of our society. I honestly hate social media in general. It's my career pretty much, but if I could choose something else, if I won the lottery, I'd be in the woods by a lake.
Yes. And I often see the people who like just comment on your breasts. Like,
well, I mean,
yeah,
I don't.
It's engagement. That's what engagement means, Kyle. You see somebody and you feel compelled to comment on something.
Okay, let me just unbutton my shirt a little bit more.
All right, Missy, you're next.
Hello, I'm Missy. I am a professional organizer. I know Nancy because she was one of my clients that I helped organize, and we became really good friends.
Yes, so Missy goes to people's homes and throws their shit away, or makes them throw their shit away.
I ask before I throw away.
Yes, but she's also fun to hang out with, and professional organizing becomes a very intimate relationship because somebody is going through all of your stuff and, not judging, but like, yes, I do own 100 pairs of black leggings, and Missy never shamed me for that. So, Missy, what is your grievance of 2024?
It's hard to pick one, Nancy, but I was driving back from a trip this past weekend, and people driving slow in the left lane, like that is the fast lane, and I'm just trying to get home. I've got a long drive home. It's like, get the F out of my way. So then you got to and then I think this is the worst part, is like, okay, you're going to pass them, so you get in the right lane, and then that's when they decide they want to go faster and they don't let you in, and then you almost hit a truck in front of you. And
yeah, road rage, not good. Effie.
So my name is Effie McGlaris, and I have a culinary edutainment company called Experiential Management, and I love telling stories with food. And right now, my passion is fine chocolate, as I was the executive director of the Fine Chocolate Industry Association. So my biggest pet peeve is crappy chocolate. I not eat it. If don't give me Godiva or Lindt, because I will say no thank you and will regift that to somebody. So I need to know who made it, where it's from. I have a relationship with a lot of the chocolate makers, and so yeah, that's my pet peeve. And no one's immune. My niece gave me something when she came back from Greece. Hopefully she's not watching this. And I gave it to my mom.
There's a true crime in there somewhere, Kelly. Poisoned by bad chocolate. And last but not least, Lorraine, who I actually met because she was sitting next to me at a nail salon when I first moved to Arizona. And we started talking, and we discovered we had all this stuff in common. We had both worked in tech in the time when there weren't a lot of women in tech. And what are the odds that the person who comments on your nail color would wind up being one of your best friends? So
absolutely wonderful. Thank you. My name is Lorraine Rogers, and yes, what she said is true. Absolutely true. I retired from about half a century in the information technology revolution, sitting in a variety of seats and having a lot of fun. I'm still there in spirit in a lot of ways. What I do now is I'm a trusted advisor. I work mostly with women as a Sherpa, another name that Nancy said, oh, you're a Sherpa? I said, I'm a Sherpa. And I'm working with someone right now, and it's absolutely wonderful to see women who really have everything it takes to get them to go to the next level and to be there for them every step of the way. In terms of what really, really makes me nuts, this year has been the worst. I can't stand listening to foreign movies or series that are dubbed by actors from other countries or actors who are like, "Yeah, and meanwhile there's excitement and there's action and there's all kinds of things going on. It just makes me crazy. I want to say, speak up, do this, do that. So anyway, that's my biggest grievance for this year.
Bad lip syncing. People who know me know that I am a avid watcher of bad reality TV. And there's a show called The Other Way where people go to other countries. And I only half watch reality TV.
It's not bad reality TV. It's great.
Okay, good. I've been vindicated. But sometimes because you can't understand what people are saying, they have subtitles.
Right.
And so I have to really pay attention. Like I can't just knit or like do something on the other side of the room. And I don't really want to have to pay attention to reality TV because then it's admitting that I'm actually watching it. So best and worst gifts ever. Obviously, the fact that you're all on this episode is one of the best gifts you could have given me. But when I was a kid, my father was very, very good at gifting. So he got me my first typewriter, my first electric typewriter, my first miniature black and white TV. So having someone understand that I just like love gadgets and fueled my gadgetry. And then on the flip side, somebody gave me a big pink stuffed dog. Actually, it was two dogs. I don't know what happened to the second one. I had the first one for a long time. And there are actually pictures in my family album of me with this pink dog. And for some reason, that just sticks in my head as that and my kissy doll, like stuffed animals and toys from my youth. In recent years, like nothing's quite measured up to that. It's like Citizen Kane and Rosebud. Bad gifts are gifts like people just have no idea, what my taste is, how many candles can you possibly burn? Like, so Missy, the next time you come to clean out my house, you'll see all the bad gifts and they will wind up in Goodwill. Kyle, what about you? Good gifts, bad gifts, memorable gifts?
Yeah, so I'm going to be extra efficient and I'm going to name my best and worst gift, which was the same gift. So I used to own a little dwarf hamster and I got a little cage for him and it was fine, but I always felt like it was too small. So my really, really thoughtful, at the time we were just dating, but my very thoughtful spouse was like, okay, I'm going to buy a hamster cage and then I'm going to meticulously hand wire around it because the bars were too thick. And I'm going to make this little enclosure that I can put on top of the existing cage so that the hamster can have more space and put it up vertically. And there was so much time and it was so thoughtful because it was something I kept saying I wanted. However, it was a menace to put on and off because it wasn't designed for the cage. And you don't want to give a hamster vertical space because what it will do is it'll climb up to the very top, it'll look down, it'll hang by its little feet, it'll fall all the way to the bottom of the cage, and then it will immediately rocket back up to the top and repeat it. I think the gift lasted about an hour before I was like, you know what, this isn't working. I'll keep the extra like little things you put for the cage, but it was so thoughtful, but probably the fastest I have just explicitly told the gift giver, I am not keeping this.
I thought you were going to say that the hamster died, so I'm glad that was not.
No, he was fine. Yeah. He lived quite a few more, well, he lived like 2 more years. He was a hamster, but he lived a hamster life.
In a high-rise, in a luxury high-rise.
Exactly.
Kelly, what about you? Best and worst gifts?
I love experience gifts and consumable gifts. Those are my favorite kind of gifts. So my best gift was 2 years ago for my birthday. I was dating someone and they got me 2 tickets to see Mark Rebier front row at Red Rocks in Colorado. He probably spent $3,000 on those tickets, which it does not have to be an expensive gift to be a great gift, but that was an amazing experience to be front row at Red Rocks at one of my favorite artists. It was just so much fun. So I will always remember that. Worst gift, though, I'm going to kind of cop out a little bit. I don't think there is such a thing as a bad gift as long as someone is giving you something that's thoughtful and they're thinking of you and it's from the heart. It may not vibe with my likes, really, if maybe they don't know what I like, but the thought that someone's giving me a gift, I'm just like, I love that.
Do you ever regift stuff when you get gifts that you're not planning on?
I do. I've done that a lot, but it's just because, I try to, Missy, maybe you'll appreciate this. I try to minimize the amount of crap I have in my house. And if I'm not going to use it, I don't want to throw it away necessarily. It might be useful to someone else. So I do regift things a lot. And also, gifts are my love language. I've found when I did that little survey, that little quiz thing, gifts are my love language. Doesn't have to be like elaborate at all. Does not have to be like $3,000 concert tickets. It could be, like you said, time, a foot rub, I don't know, just a little, my favorite candy bar that they remembered that I loved. I love it.
But not a Hershey, according to Effie. Like, don't.
I would eat the Hershey's.
Just don't tell Effie you did.
Yes. Well, unlike Kelly, I like an expensive gift, and my favorite gift was a full-length fur coat that I got one Christmas. But I lived in Chicago, and it was a necessity because I walked to work. So I enjoyed it, but when I moved to a warmer climate, the coat did not make it with me.
Plus, nowadays, you have to be a little nervous about wearing real fur out on the streets. So
right.
But yes, I own one too. I confess, and there's nothing like it when it's cold out.
No, I don't. Is there like an AA for people that wore fur at one point in time, like a support?
That's fun.
So, worst gift, Effie? Since you already told us your best gift.
Anything that's like a fruitcake or from Harry and David.
I love Harry and David.
But if people know me, like they know that I'm a foodie, and that's just not. They obviously it was something that they picked up at the last minute because they were in a frantic hurry.
You've been gifted a fruitcake?
Yes, as part of a gift basket.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Very, very bad. Mm-hmm. So, Missy, what about you?
I'm just like Kelly. I really like experiences. And so Effie and I, not this Effie, my Effie, this past year took me to Canada for my birthday, and we got to hike in Banff and Yoho, and it was just magical and amazing. So anything that has to do with travel for gifting, I really enjoy.
Did you know that you were going, or was it a surprise?
I knew. I knew, but she does surprise me with a lot of things. So
yeah, that to me is like my ultimate fantasy is for somebody. I once had a date where somebody had me blindfolded and then driven around the city. And I thought I'm either going to have a great date or I'm going to end up dead. It was one of those.
That could have been a true crime story, Nancy.
I know. It could have. I peeked. I lifted up the blindfold at one point to me.
How many dates had you been on by that point? Because that's really what's, I feel like, the important question.
It was only the second date.
Nancy.
So
no.
Dangerous.
I had Googled him. He was not convicted of any felonies. He was a very successful entrepreneur. Like, I knew where he lived. I knew what
the guy in American Psycho, Nancy.
I'm like, that doesn't mean anything.
That's a whole other episode. It's like times I almost ended up dead in the bottom of a river.
I feel like if you can Google if someone did a murder, they're probably not free enough for you to date them.
We hope.
Could be kinky, could be a kidnapping.
So, Lorraine, last but not least.
Oh, wait, I didn't do my worst gift.
Oh, sorry, Missy.
So I'm not a crazy cat lady, but I do have 5 cats and a dog. And I love animals. But one thing that I hate is when I get gifted like things with cats on it, like cat sweatshirt. My mom and my sister both got me signs that say like, we need all these cats. I'm like, no, like I hate cat things. I just love animals. So I just need
no cat paraphernalia is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
And Lorraine.
My very favorite gift is it happened in 2012 when my daughter gifted me and herself with the DNA test. And I got to find out so much about who I am, where I'm similar to my daughter, at least in terms of our genetics. It was absolutely wonderful. And that's kind of an experience also. You know, when you're talking about you can relive or learn about things that and I had no idea because I was adopted. So this gave me a lot of interest and it's ongoing. So that's a long lasting gift and one I love. My worst gift was this gorgeous Hawaiian lava necklace. I could still see it and beautiful blocks of lava all around, a beautiful clasp in the back. And as the morning went on, my neck started to turn red, my eyes swelled, and my throat was starting to close. It turns out I'm allergic to lava. Who knew, right? So I took it off, and my husband said, "You just don't like it. You just don't." I said, "I love it, but it's killing me. I can't keep it." So I actually took it back and tried to explain to them that really I'm allergic to this. I mean, so anyway, that's the worst gift, but kind of like you, it was the best gift, Kyle, and the worst gift. It was beautiful, but not if it's going to kill you. No, thank you.
Yes, no, do not move to Mount Vesuvius or Pompeii or any place else where there's active volcano. And I do have to say, you know, I was talking about things, but I just came back from visiting my kids in the East Coast, and being a mom and having two daughters has really been like the best gift from the universe. And so in closing, we're just going to go one more time around the table and talk about what we plan on gifting to the rest of the world in 2025. I would like to think that I'll be 69 years old in February. I've accumulated a lot of wisdom about business, about life, about motherhood. The whole theme of this show is sex, life, and tech. And I think at this point in my life, I know at least a little bit about all of those things. And I love just giving back at this stage. You know, Lorraine was talking about serving as a mentor. And I think that although we're living in a very youthified world, I do have a lot of practical wisdom that I would like to pay forward. And that is part of the purpose of this podcast and my writing and my speaking. So, and including my giving back to my daughters and watching them become better mothers, better caretakers than I ever was, because, you know, we're living in an era where I think because of technology, it's just easier to live and work in a more integrated way. And as Lorraine will tell you, we were kind of the first generation of women who had families and careers, and it kind of sucked. So it's great that the generations after me are going to be able to live a very different and hopefully better life, even though we did fuck up the planet for them. So I apologize for that. Kyle, what are you going to give back to the world, your spouse? You don't have to be super lofty. It could just be, you know, what do you have to give?
Yeah, I've had this run bouncing around in my head the whole recording. I think the one I'm going to go with, just because I'm very proud of them, is my podcast has a fan who became an intern a year and a half ago. And we've been working on enhancing their editing skills and their writing skills. And they're going to be graduating and going to college in 2025. And so because of that, I think I can justify that as gifting the skills I gave them, gifting them to the world, even though the intern did all the work and I just gave some guidance. But I think that's the thing I'm proudest of that's going to happen in 2025.
And you also, well, this past year, you gifted me your skills in podcasting, because I was, as you know, I was a little panicked when I had to make a shift, and Kyle has been there for me every step of the way. So thank you, Kyle. Grateful.
Oh, absolutely. I started with, podcasting skills, but I'm like, that is too shameless a plug for me to be like, this is what I'm gifting. I need to be more sentimental.
Well, speaking of shameless plug, we might as well do this now. What is the best way for people to reach you?
Best way for people to reach me is Kyle at questfriendspodcast.com, or you know what, just go to questfriendspodcast.com. I technically have a website for podcast production too, but I'm going to check both emails. So yeah, just go there. And you can listen to the third best podcast on the internet. Behind Nancy and Kelly. There we go.
Oh,
Well, thank you, you suck up. So, Kelly,
What am I giving the world as a gift? Well,
or
I'm
your
gonna
small
say-
corner of the world. It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
the entire world. Just
more laughter and more comedy, because I've been lucky and unlucky the last few months to work with some comedians and getting more like immersed into the like stand-up comedy community. And I've learned I'm kind of funny. I'm a little bit funny, and I've been like making more funny skits on TikTok and Instagram, and people are like really liking them, and I love making them. So it's good for my soul, and I think it's good to make people laugh. We can all use a little more laughter. So I'm trying to be like more lighthearted and funny in 2025.
awesome. Yes. And how can people follow you, reach you? Where do you want them to stalk you?
Everywhere, I'm just Kelly Brink. So Kelli Brink. That's me. You can
They can give you the gift of engagement. Haha,
Yeah.
Kyle. Missy.
I'm going to give the gift of getting organized. I just had to. And I really just want to teach people how important it is to be organized, just because it really does make your life more stress-free. And I think they really just go hand in hand with clutter and everyday life. And so I love what I do, and I really just want to spread it as much as I can to everybody.
And people don't realize, how powerful that is. After Missy was in my closet with those 100 pairs of black leggings and labeling things and throwing away my crap, it really was so liberating because, she also said, the closet is the room where you start your day. And if you can't find your shit, then it's going to have an effect on everything else. So, yeah, I'm like the queen of the label maker now. So thank you for that, Missy. It's working. And if people want to find you?
Yeah, so they can find me at nomesswithmissy.com or email me nomesswithmissy@gmail.com.
Effie,
So,
other than good chocolate, what are you bringing to the world?
well, I think the event that you and I went to, the Daybreaker event, I like connecting people that are of different generations, and chocolate's just a fun tool to do that through. And so we did a chocolate and mezcal pairing here. That was a lot of fun. But obviously, if kids are underage that are involved, you don't include the mezcal. But it's a fun thing. And for me, the thing that I would give is drinking chocolate. So it's not hot chocolate. It's something that is a little bit more grounding and warms the heart.
That's great. And Daybreaker is a daytime sober dance party.
Yes.
And they came to Phoenix this year. Hopefully they'll come again. Where basically it was like a daytime rave. It was awesome.
And I do have video of Nancy at that event if anyone is interested.
For blackmail purposes. Lorraine, what is your gift to the world and how can people find you?
okay. My gift to the world is going to continue paying it forward and really helping others. I find myself at a retrospective, and then a prospective time in my life. I can look back and I can see things that I've learned, things that I've done. And I do believe education is lifelong. And I think my gift will be to work with others and to set the example and really enjoy my life and help other people enjoy their lives as well and really get what they want to do, whether it's cleaning out their closet or whatever is really important to them. I do stick to more in the business and community area, but sometimes people need something like that in order to let go of some things, in order to get moving in other areas as well. You can find me on Facebook, and I'm Lorraine Rogers, LARAINERODGERS, and I would be happy to connect with you and to promote you if that was something that was going to be important. I'm on LinkedIn and I do a lot of promotion there.
And Nancy, I forgot to add, I'm also on LinkedIn, and that's the best way to find me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Me too.
So thank you all. I know that some of us have to go in exactly 2 minutes, so we'll wrap it up. I am super, super grateful. This was one of my 2024 gifts that you all agreed to be on the podcast today. Really appreciate it. As I said, I'm going to be doing this every month. So if any of you knows people who would be a good fit for one of my I'm not going to reveal the new name for it, but one of these group chats every month. Please send them my way. You can watch all of my episodes on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're just a listener, on Apple, Spotify, wherever you happen to get them. If you would like to be a guest or find out more about me, you could follow me on Instagram at The On Switch, TheOnSwitch, the name of my marketing company, which is was my day job. I'm now primarily a writer and speaker and podcaster, and I will be launching workshops at some point. So that's where you could find me. And if you'd like to be a guest, just email me at Nancy A. Shenker, Shenker, @gmail.com. And as I said a little bit earlier, this was a great chat, and it represented 6 generations or 6 decades of people, which is really, really powerful stuff. And I would love to see a world in which people are judged by their interests and by their passions and what they could bring to the table, as opposed to the date on their birth certificate. So in closure, stay organized, look to other people to help you grow. Do not build a 2-story hamster cage, eat good chocolate, and beware of murderers who you may not know are real murderers. And before you put that blindfold on, you need to do more than check somebody out on Google. So Kelly, I hope to see you next year. Kelly goes to these true crime conventions. So that would be a great gift for me if you can let me know when that is, because I am also a true crime fan.
Yeah.
And you may see me there. Anyway, thank you all. Have a wonderful holiday season. Remember to be age blind, and peace out.
Yes.